A lot. Okay,
Go
we'll
ahead.
start. Yep. I'd like to introduce David from England, who has multiple sclerosis. Welcome, David.
Hello there, thank you.
Could you tell us when you first noticed MS symptoms?
I was leaving work. I remember I was working in the centre of London, and somebody stepped on the back of my foot as I was crossing the road. I went flying and fell on the floor. Luckily, no traffic was coming, and I was okay. But I was walking a very odd way, and having a little bit of a struggle to go down the steps of the underground. And it was then that something didn't seem quite right. And that's when I was diagnosed in 1998 in the end.
And what symptoms were you having at that time?
Well, I was walking in a very odd way, and when I was going down steps, I had to hold on quite a bit. And I thought I just had pigeon toes, nothing more than that. And we had various different conversations with various different specialists before it was suggested that I went into the National Hospital in London. And after a week in there, and I came out, and then my results were diagnosed as multiple sclerosis. Well, I didn't know a lot about MS at the time, and that was probably just as well. Because the less you know about something, the better it is, really. But after that, I mean, I just carried on as normal, really. I suppose I first realised something wasn't quite right. I can go back even further to when I went down to an airport and I was struggling to keep up with people. So maybe it goes back even further than that. The symptoms were always there from the start.
And how did you hear about LDN?
I was in an MS centre, and I'd read about it, but at the time didn't think anything of it, because you just think, well, I've read about it and that was it. But because I think there is no cure for it, I began to think, well, I'll try something. And then various different so-called experts put you off. And in fact, my specialist put me off. He said, I wouldn't try it if I were you. And then I thought, well, I know I'm going to, because there's no other cure. And so I think it's the thought of putting pills into your mouth and not knowing what they can do that concerns people. But I thought, well, I'll try it. And having spoken to you, Linda, it was the thought of, well, and I think we spoke a few times over the phone, if I remember rightly.
Over what period of time, David?
It must have been over a period of a year or so it took me.
I think so.
I think it must have been that. And then I thought, well, I'll try it and see. So I tried it, and do you know something? If you've ever heard of miracles happening, I found after taking them for a couple of weeks or so, I was actually walking in my bedroom, which had never happened. And literally one evening that happened, and then the following evening it went back to what it was before. But it was very, very odd. But all I would say is, since starting taking them, my energy levels have risen substantially. I don't need to sleep during the day. I get up early in the morning. I can go out till 8, 9 o'clock at night. So I'm up for about 14 hours. And I can get on now with my life as I want to. There may not be a cure for MS, but providing I can do as much as I can, then that's okay. It's all right. And I would personally say to anybody who was considering it, why not? What have you got to lose by making your life a little bit easier?
If you had to rate your quality of life before LDN on a score of 1 to 10, what would it be?
About 3.
And what would you say it is now?
Well, the example, really, and the classic example, is I had to come off LDN because I had a mouth pain a few times, and I had to come off it because it used to hurt. And in the time that I came off LDN, my energy levels went down. That's no kidding. That is fact. The energy levels went down, and all the NS fatigue, as they call it, went up. When I went back on them again, the energy levels went up again. And as I say, in my view, if your quality of life can improve with this nasty condition in any shape or form, then it's worth it. And in my case, my energy levels have gone up. I'm wide awake from about 6:30 in the morning, and I go to bed at 9:30 at night. Now, I don't think that's too bad a day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what I can really say about it.